and we're coming to you live from Adelaide, the venue of the second semi-final at the T20 World Cup. A semi-final that will feature England and India. Of course, there's another semi-final that will be played in a different venue in Sydney that will see New Zealand take on Pakistan. We've got all the angles covered for you in the next half an hour, so don't go anywhere. Joining me, my colleague Vikrant Gupta, and we'll take a look at the aspects, the problem areas for India. What is it that happened at India's practice session? Actually, the day, it's still 2 days to go for that semi-final to start, and the day didn't really quite start well for the Indian team because there was a bit of a scare. That scare came in the form of Indian captain Rohit Sharma, who got hit in his arm. Okay, we'll bring you the ground report from Adelaide, what the Indian team has been up to a little later in the program. What you just saw was how that first semi-final is building up between Pakistan, between New Zealand. Vikrant is alongside me. These are the two teams that played semi-finals last time around. Both missed out on that big trophy. It was Australia that took that trophy. You reckon one of them now has it in them to lift that trophy?
They can. But again, New Zealand played in the finals. Yes. Pakistan didn't. So that's the edge that New Zealand will carry. They will carry that edge because they played the bigger games more than Pakistan in the recent past. They played in the finals last year. They played in the 2019 World Cup final. They've also played in the 2015 main World Cup final here. Yeah. Pakistan won the Champions Trophy 2017 in England. But then this is a different Pakistan team. The only thing is, yes, they would draw inspiration from the fact that they won the World Cup in 1992 in Australia under similar circumstances. They were down and out and they came back. That time also, if you remember, Nikhil, they beat New Zealand in the semi-finals before beating England in the finals. Yeah. But that was a different Pakistani team led by a different Pakistani captain, Imran Khan. Yes, they can draw inspiration, but I still have a feeling that even though Pakistan have got the bowling, can Babar and Rizwan rise to the occasion? Because they are too dependent on their all-rounders. If the openers do not score runs in a big game, can the others deal with the pressure? Secondly, I think Pakistan have been celebrating their entry into the semi-finals for a long time. The last 3-4 days, you know, anywhere and everywhere that you search in Pakistan, they are celebrating the semi-finals. And this is the risk. Did Pakistan only want to play in the semi-finals, that they are celebrating the entry into the semi-finals, or are they here to win the cup? That's the key.
No, but that's one thing, as you say. Maybe are they over-celebrating that entry into the semi-final? The other way of looking at it is, most often people say, and they quote examples of previous Pakistan teams, that whenever they're in a quandary. No, but you know what? Different generations of Pakistan teams have found a way. Whenever they got their backs against the wall, whenever they just sneak into the tournament semis.
The antidote to this is the previous Indian teams. They would succumb under pressure. But the last few years, we've seen the Indians can handle the pressure. I'm not talking just about the ICC tournaments. I'm talking about the big match pressure. So you're right. While the country doesn't change, the dressing room environment does. The players do. Babar has to lead from the front. Imran at that stage was 39. His right shoulder was all ruptured. It was bandaged. Still, in the semi-finals and the finals, he went into bat at number 3. He said, I'll be there. He said, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be in the middle. I am not going to score runs too fast, but I'll ensure that the others do. Can Babar do that?
No, Babar is no Imran Khan. Let's not kid ourselves with that. Yes, he's a rising star, but Imran Khan was an established star.
It's been a very ordinary tournament for him as a batsman as well.
Yeah, and he's looked woefully out of form. And just to have said that maybe 12 months ago, that Babar Azam will not be timing the ball well. Yes, if you had said that he's not going to score runs, I would have agreed. Scoring runs, not scoring runs happens. Him not timing the ball, him not looking good, that would is a rarity. Okay, you spoke about things that have gone in New Zealand's favour. For example, that they've played that crucial, matches. They've gone a step ahead of Pakistan. But the one thing that goes in Pakistan's favour, they played a tri-series very recently, that too in New Zealand. And guess what? Pakistan ended up winning that tri-series, beating none other than in New Zealand. Clearly, those things are going to help take that advantage, because I remember India, South Africa. South Africa didn't do well in India, and we spoke about how that might just carry on into the tournament, and sure enough, they're knocked out of the first round. The fact that Pakistan won that tri-series, will that have any bearing?
They'll sleep better, they'll wake up better. With the knowledge that only last month they won a tri-series in New Zealand, beating New Zealand in the finals. Again, that was a tri-series. This is the World Cup. Yes, the conditions have altered. It was very cold to begin with. Very cold. The last 3 days have been dramatic. It's suddenly become hot. It's become dry. And the Sydney pitch will suit the Pakistanis. They will also be aware of the fact that in Sydney, they beat South Africa in a tough game, which means that they would now tell themselves that Sydney is a lucky venue for us. Like we tell ourselves that Adelaide is a lucky venue for us. So that may help them. And the awareness that yes, we won a tournament, that is a plus. But again, Nikhil, they've got Shadab, who I think is a big match winner. Shanshaw Afridi is warmed up nicely. Haris Rauf, Mohammad Wasim Jr. and the others, they're doing well. Iftikhar has also played a couple of good hands. But will there be any fear of failure in the Pakistani dressing room?
I'm sure there would be, but there'll also be fear of failure in the New Zealand dressing room.
No, New Zealand are actually not answerable to anyone.
Oh, why not? I mean, they reach these crucial finals. Everyone's blaming them for that 2019 final, but not winning it.
But I again feel
the
that
final in the T20 World Cup.
New Zealand have been very clinical, Nikhil.
But when will they get that monkey off their back? Finally, they'll have to win a big tournament. Okay.
Well, for all you know, they might even lose this same final. I'm not saying that they won't. All I'm saying is that New Zealand have been clinical. And Pakistan have been Pakistan. They've gone down.
Ups and downs.
Yes. But, you know, they lost to Zimbabwe, by the way.
Yes.
They lost to Bangladesh in the 1999 World Cup, yet they played in the finals.
Yep.
So, again, different Pakistan. Can this Pakistan be the Pakistan of 90s? I do not know. If Babar gets runs, maybe yes. And for all you know, Nikhil, this may not be a 200 run kind of a game.
Right.
This could be won or lost in scores of, let's say, 160, 165 as well.
Okay, that's what tends to happen in crucial knockout games. You keep talking about big scoring games in T20, but when it comes to crunch situation, pressure does take a toll on most teams, no matter how big a player you are. Okay, eventually, let's now take a look at what happened with the Indian team. We promised to show you earlier, but the Adelaide Oval not too far away from where we are. Right now, you can see the Adelaide, I can't say the skyline because, you know, you get low rises here, not the tall buildings that we're so accustomed
to seeing. See the mountains,
to seeing.
the Barossa Valley.
Yeah, late at night, it's tough to see them. Not like Melbourne and Sydney, but it has a beauty of its own. Bradmanstown, this is where, just about a kilometer away from us, the Indian team practiced. As I mentioned, there was a bit of an injury scare, but what really came out of that, watch this. 2 days ahead of that big semi-final, India versus England, to be played right here at the Adelaide Oval. The Indian team were out for practice, so was the English team, and it wasn't a great start to the day for the Indian team because Indian captain Rohit Sharma was struck by a ball on his right arm, after which he was visibly in pain. He spent some time away from the fielding drills, applied that ice pack and also had that magic spray put on him, tried to come back and try and bat but couldn't at the time, had to rest further half an hour, and then when he came back to bat after that, he could then play properly. So it didn't start really well for Rohit Sharma, who got struck by a ball, but later visuals, as you're seeing on your screens right now, of him practicing, and after that he had an extended batting session of about 40 minutes, and those visuals seem to suggest that he was much better. There was no pain then to be troubling him, and he batted with much ease, which suggests that nothing to worry about as far as his availability then for the semi-final is concerned. Meanwhile, there were a few other Indian players practicing there in Hardik Pandya, Dinesh Karthik. So 3 of these players who are regular members of the 11-member squad that India puts out on the field, these 3 were there. Other than that, majority of the remaining players, big stars like Surya Kumar Yadav, Virat Kohli, or fast bowlers in Mohammad Shami, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Ashdeep Singh, all of them were resting back in the hotel. Though tomorrow India might have another practice session, and that's when you get to see the full Indian side. Meanwhile, the English team were out in full strength, unlike the Indian team. Majority of the English players were here practicing ahead of that semi-final. You saw their fast bowlers going through the drills, the batsmen trying to play innovative shots like Alex Hales, you could witness in the net practice session. Ben Stokes also spoke to the media. He spoke about, you know, how they need to be wary of a team like India, because India have got a lot of stars in their ranks, like Virat Kohli. He felt that Rohit Sharma is too good a player to be out of form for very long. He might come good, but the focus was on that one individual. His name is Suryakumar Yadav, and this is what Ben Stokes said on him.
Surya Kumar has obviously, came in and set the world alight. He's a fantastic player and plays some shots where you just sort of scratching your head sometimes. But he's in great form. But about Thursday, hopefully we can try and shut him down and not allow him to get on one of his rampages.
Meanwhile, David Malan was also put through the paces. He was go through a fitness test. Remember, he had injured his groin area while fielding in that game versus Sri Lanka. So he's doubtful for the game versus India. And looking at the visuals, it seemed like he's still not 100% there. And with just little more than 1 day to go for the India game, it's unlikely that David Malan would start based on what we saw in the fitness test that he went through at the Adelaide Oval. Meanwhile, the other big talking point here in Adelaide is the weather. It's a big change from about 4 or 5 days ago when we were here. It was cold and chilly conditions that may not have suited the Indian team because they come from the subcontinent. Now it feels like a proper Australian summer, subcontinental dry heat you can witness here in Adelaide, and that may well play in favour of the Indian team, though good batting conditions here in Adelaide are likely to help the strong English batting lineup as well. Ben Stokes also spoke about the dimensions of this ground because of big boundaries, both straight as well as square, something that they will have to account for when batting here, because the size of the boundary that you see here, you don't even get in England nor in India. So both teams will have to plan accordingly. This is Nikhil Naz with camera person Himanshu Sharma at the Adelaide Oval for India Today. Okay, on the evidence of whatever we witnessed there, nothing much to worry about. Looks like Rohit Sharma is going to be out there tossing the coin up come the game versus England. Vikrant still alongside me. Still plenty of things for India to ponder over. Today they had an optional training session, so not a lot of people turned up, as we just explained in that report. But for Rohit Sharma, crucial game coming up because everything else is firing. It's Rohit not firing on top. Maybe your spinners are an area of concern. Those are just the two areas that India need to fix. Then you've got a game on versus a strong
Spin is a worry. Especially when you're playing a semi-final at the Adelaide Oval, which traditionally favours the spinners as well.
Yeah.
And it's a shorter ground. If the spinner, the
Relatively
margin of
shorter.
error is very thin. If he borders the other side, then you go for runs. We also saw the English practice, by the way.
Yes.
They have not clicked as a unit in this tournament, but the kind of batting that we saw in the nets today is very scary. Yes, Rohit Sharma, Butler as well. Even Butler, he's just played one knock. Yes. Rohit's played one knock. So Butler and Rohit Sharma, I think that is going to be the battle that will define the semi-final. There is pressure on Josh Butler as well. There is pressure on Rohit Sharma as well, both as captain and as a batsman. Okay. If Butler gets going, if he bats some 35-40 balls, the game is gone. And if Rohit Sharma bats 35-40 balls, then he will win you the game. I have a feeling that come the semi-final, it will be a Rohit Sharma brilliant knock that will win India the game.